Hello, my monstrosities. Hello once again. Today I bring to you a pleasant surprise. Now, I know everybody's going to be excited about all the new things, and hey, I immediately jumped to my own faction, Tyranids, to do things. But I think it's only right that after I've yelled at GW several times about the Mordaka change, that you could have just fixed Cult of Speed, I should at least address that it looks like they tried to fix Cult of Speed, and I I think it's okay. I think it's okay. There are some things that I kind of worry about, but I think overall it's okay. I don't think it's complete poo poo anymore. So, Adrenaline Junkies Detachment Rule. Speed freaks units from your army are eligible to shoot and declare charge in a turn in which they advanced or fell back. That's cool. Tankbusters, Breaker Boys, Commando, Squig Boys, Bomb Squig's ability. Once per battle for each Bomb Squig the unit has. That's the change there. But like I said, we want to focus on the Cult Speed stuff. Just want to talk about that there. Make sure that I'm not missing any text. And also, the buggies got cheaper. Now, would have been nice if the Flyers did too. Kinda, maybe, if I'm being honest, the only one that would have been like usable with it being cheaper is the Jet, and honestly, I don't know if you can make it cheaper. But Boom Decker Snaz Wagon down by 10, Def Copters down by 10 for 3, or per 3, I should say. Custom Booster Blast down 5. Megatrack Scrapjet, my favorite one, down 5. Rucker Truck Squig Buggy down 5. Shock Jump Dragster down 5. This is good, and I'm excited. Starting with, well, Cult of Speed, we talked about the army rule, right? That's fine. But remember how I was like, hey, you could have fixed, instead of what you did with Mordaka, you could fix Cult of Speed, and then they fixed Cult of Speed. But Cult of Speed has something that Mordaka had, which is access to sustained hits too. Now, it's a lot more restrictive, but you still have it. Your shooting phase, one speed freak unit from your army that has not been selected to shoot this phase. Until the end of the phase, ranged weapons equipped by models in your unit have sustained hits 1. If they're targeting somebody within 9 inches, sustained hits 2. Can't stack lethal hits, crits on 5s with this one, right? Now, you're not getting reroll 1s. You're not getting reroll 1s over here, but you do have a profile that when you deep strike it, cough cough death copters that are now, I'm sorry, what was that? 80 points per 3. Uh with copter rockets, you blast twin linked 24 inches, D3 hitting on 5s 923 and death from above. Each time this unit ends a normal move, you can select one enemy unit it moved over during that move and roll 1d6 for each model in this unit. For each 4 up, that enemy unit suffers 1 mortal wound. Yeah, deep striking 6d3 hitting on 5s. Blast twin linked 923 copter rockets. Oh, and you're looking at the T6, the 4 up save, the 6 up invul, and the 4 wounds. So here's the thing about Cult of Speed. You have speedy as freaks. Your opponent's shooting phase or the fight phase, yada yada yada. One speed freak unit or truck unit, they are a speed freak unit. Until the end of the phase, mollies in your unit have a 5 up invulnerable save. Okay, if your unit is a vehicle unit with an unmodified toughness characteristic of 8 or less, until the end of the phase, models in your unit have a 4 up invulnerable save. So, that's 8 or less, and honestly, I can't really think about why they put that. So you get a 4 up invuln for these 6 models to dump that barrage of attacks. Now, mind you, you'll be deep striking, so you'll be out of 9. But you also can advance and shoot, because they're still speed freaks, with 12 inches movement and fly. So you could do that too. And then once you get into a decent situation, you go ahead and proc sustained hits 2 in somebody's face. Or your movement phase, one select one enemy within 9 inches, battle shock test, -1 from result. That's cool for mission play. That's fine and dandy. Blitzifire, I guess you could do it. Same, within 9 inches requirement, but you get lethals, and if you get within 9 inches, or the same boost within 9 inches, I should say, if you do it within 9 inches, crits on 5s instead of 6. That's cute, that's cool. But this unit is pretty solid and funny. I stopped myself from recording the Cult of Speed video like 2 or 3 days ago because I was like, well, Cult of Speed has. Why don't we take Defcopters? They they're okay, but it looks like Storm Boys have taken over the terrible thing. So, funny enough, I didn't do that. And also, to be mentioned, they have grenades. So, if you didn't kill them between death from above shooting, or if you don't think that the shooting is going to work out, you got grenades, I should say. So, there's that. Next, I want to talk about the Death Killer War Trikes, War Trike and the War Bikers. Now that they have advance, shoot, and charge, or fall back, fall back, shoot, and charge. Now that they can do everything, they can do everything. So, you already have Speed Boss giving your unit that is leading, whatever, +1 to hit. So that means you're hitting on 2s and mostly 2s. Power Claw can go to 3 if you put it on the boss knob, right? We understand that. That's fine. You also have the enhancements where with Squig high tires, each time on the Death Killer War Trike model only, each time a model in the Bears unit makes a consolidation move, it can move up to 6 inches instead of 3. That's pretty good when you're fucking mounted and trying to figure out how to get through the board. So that's pretty nice. Also, you have Waz Blaster. This is the one that you've probably heard of before. 10 points. Death Killer War Trike also. In your shooting phase, after the Bears unit has shot, if it is not within engagement range of 1 or more enemy units, it can make a normal move of up to 6 inches. If it does, until the end of turn, it is not eligible to declare charge. That's fine. You were already taking this before. But it's to say, now 2 units doesn't feel as bad. Because you can advance, fall back, shoot, and charge. And full throttle. Your charge phase just after a Speed Freaks unit from your army ends a charge move. That Speed Freaks unit until the end of the turn. Each time a model in your unit makes a melee attack +1 to the wound roll. Your Death Killer War Trike is already strength 10 outside of the WA. So +1 to hit, strength 10, +1 to wound, advance and charge. This becomes a real detachment. I mean, well, a real detachment, but it becomes like a real unit. Like, truly, this becomes a real unit. Drive-by DACA, each time a model in the unit makes a ranged attack that targets a unit within 9 inches, improve the AP characteristic of the attack by 1. It's cute. It's whatever. You're really doing it for the melee. You're playing Orks, right? So, that's nice. But now I want to go to my favorite. I talked about it earlier. Also, Warbikers also have grenades. So, uh, that's things that you can do. Now, mind you, can't do fucking advance and grenade somebody in the face. But just saying, if you didn't think the shooting was going to work out, you got grenades. Megatrack Scrapjet, giving this thing advance and charge for 75 points. T7 4-up save. Again, can go to a 4-up invuln, but it's a 6-up invuln. 9 wounds. It has rocket cannons. Blast 24 inches, d6 +1, hidden on 5s, 9, 2, 3. Oh man, we've seen that before. That picks up a lot of shit. And for cheap, yeah, we're looking at decent output. Decent enough output. I'm not going to, say that it's the best, the bee's knees, or whatever, but it's fine enough because everything here is fucking cheap. You have drill through. Each time this model ends a charge move, select one enemy unit within engagement range of it and roll 1d6. On a 2 through 5, that enemy unit suffers d3 mortal wounds. On a 6, that enemy unit suffers 3 mortal wounds. Now, that doesn't sound too major by itself, right? 75 points, 3 mortal wounds, no drill, 4 attacks hidden on 4, strength 8, AP 1, damage 2. But it is to remind you that now you just have a 75-point rocket for mortal wounds because you can also still use tank shock because it's a vehicle. Your charge phase, vehicle, yada yada yada. Select one enemy unit within engagement range of your unit. Select one vehicle model in your unit that is within engagement range. Roll a number of d6 equal to the toughness characteristic of the selected vehicle model. For each 5-up, 1 mortal wound, max of 6. Now, you're only T7, but now your opponent has to get rid of a 75-point body with 9 wounds. That's T7. Like, that's not... Now, it's not nothing. right? It's not nothing, but it's pretty cheap that I'm okay just sending these fuckers into people's faces. Like, that's fine. That's fine. And you have access to fallback, shoot, and charge. So, like, if they don't pick you up in one activation, then you fall back, shoot, and charge, and do it again? Like, come on. So there's that. Now, to flip it on the other side of, yeah, we talked a lot about offense. Now I want to talk about defense. Giving the Boom Daka Snazwagon advance and charge means that, while an enemy unit that isn't a monster or vehicle is within 6 inches of this model, each time a model in that unit makes an attack, subtract 1 from the hit roll. That means let's go back again, 70 points, you can send these into places of the board with grenades, if you want, but you also have Mech Special, Assault, Rapid Fire 4, Sustained Hits 1, 24 inches, 12 attacks, hitting on 5s, 5, 1, 1. Not too bad, especially if you want to give it crits on 5s lethals. Just saying, you could do that too. But, past that, if you charge these fuckers, because advance and charge, now, with Cult of Speed, yeah, this means that that you can now start proccing that aura of -1 to hit for the rest of your shit. -1 into a T7 4-up save, possibly 4-up invuln, 6-up invuln, 9 wound body that you only spent 70 points on. And trying to keep whatever you did alive, or whatever else you have on the board alive. It's fine. That's pretty decent. Now going on to the one that I accidentally spoiled, and still don't know why they're not speed freaks. Storm Boys. This unit is eligible to declare a charge in a turn in which it advanced or fell back. If you just need some infantry to do shit, here's some 12-inch movement infantry that can advance and charge still. Are they going to pick shit up? Probably not, but they can play the objective for 65 points in 5 models. That's pretty decent. And who said that you can't take Tankbusters anymore? Take Tankbusters and some trucks that also can benefit from the 4-up invulnerable save. Let's just double check. Yeah, 8 or less, so can become a 4-up invuln. You send them up the board and let the Tankbusters come out and do the thing that Tankbusters do. Now, you're not going to get any special bonuses or sustained or lethals, and you don't have +1 to hit as if you are playing tactical or something else, right? You don't have that part. But rerolls, Tankbuster shooting is still fine enough to be used outside of tactical and more Daka. So, that's cute. You also have, for consideration, the Rucker Truck Squig Buggy. Now, this went down to 95 points. And thinking about it, it could be worse. For 100 points, indirect fire with 36 inches could be worse. It also has ignores cover and it's blast. So while I know everybody is lamenting the Rocket Truck Squig Buggy because it's not, what it used to be, it has squig launchers that is blast, ignores cover, and direct fire. 36 inches, D6 plus 6. Hitting on 5s, strength 5, AP 1, damage 2. Buzzer Squigs. In your shooting phase after this model has shot, select one enemy unit hit by one or more of those attacks made with Squig launches and roll 1d6 on a 4-up. They're hindered. If they're hindered, -2 to move and advance and charge rolls made for it. Okay, that's cute. You're not really going for the hindered because I just want to say, again, it's indirect fire. If it needs to be, you could just put lethals on Blitzer. Or you could go with sustain on Daka. Don't think you really need to, but that's really cheap indirect fire. And I know everybody's tired of the Plague Burst Crawlers right now, so why not consider green indirect fire here? And yes, it hits on 5s. Most other ways of doing indirect fire have found a way to hit on 4s. Cough, cough, enter the mech that you were probably bringing in this detachment anyway. And if you're indirect firing with Rucker Truck Squig Buggies, you're probably hidden and you can hide the mech next to them, because with Mech Boy, if you're within 3 inches of an Orks vehicle, which a lot of the Speed Freaks units are, you have Lone Op. And with Mechanic, at the end of your movement phase, you can select one friendly Orks vehicle model within 3 inches of this model. That vehicle model regains up to D3 lost wounds, and until the start of your next movement phase, each time that vehicle model makes an attack, add 1 to the hit roll. So, you plop a mech next to a Rucker truck Squig buggy, indirect fire, you get to live your best life. Now, I'm not saying that Coulter Speed is going to be terribly competitive, but between boom deck and snaz wagons, -1 to hit in areas that now have advanced and charge, Rucker truck Squig buggies possibly getting that hindered off, but it's indirect fire anyway. Throwing in Megatrack Scrapjets at people, uh, Death Killer War Trikes and War Bikers, and Death Copters. I think that Coulter Speed is finally worth playing in some capacity. So yeah, if you like the video, like it. Got a comment for me, comment. And until next time, peace out, my monstrosities.